We all love money, but few of us actually use compound interest to help us increase our wealth. In this video, I'm going to explain what compound interest is and how you can make your money work for you. Before I explain what compound interest is, we need to understand what interest is. So to define interest is a percentage of money that is given to the investor because of their investment, or to a lender when it's a result of a loan or a debt. So let's look at a few examples. If I invest $1,000 in Company A and they pay out an interest of 5% annually, that means that Company A will pay me $50 every year. A type of investment that would provide this type of example would be a stock, paying out its dividend. Another example could be a savings account. At the moment, savings accounts have an interest rate of about 0.5% annually. So if I invest $1,000, then in 1 year, I will receive $5. It's not as much as the above example, but it just shows that there are various methods to invest, and it's crucial that you do your research to find the right one for you. Now, the opposite of what we were talking about would be debt. And more importantly, I want to talk about credit card debt. Depending on where you look, different places say that the average interest rate of a credit card debt is about 12.31%. So that's the number we're using. Due to the fact this is debt, you don't earn this money, but you're actually expected to pay it. But it works the same. So let's use $1,000 again as our base. But instead of having $1,000 in savings or shares, you have $1,000 in credit card debt. So in 1 year, if you do not pay off that debt, you will owe an extra $123.10 to make a total of $1,123.10. These rates can get as high as even 30% sometimes. Now that we understand what interest is, we can explain what compound interest is. Compound interest is the phenomenon of reinvesting the interest you receive from your investments. This causes interest to gain interest. It may sound confusing, but bear with me. Let's use the first example that we used last time. If I invest $1,000 in Company A and they pay out 5% annually, that means that Company A will pay me $50 annually. Now I have $1,050. In year 2, my total invested money is $1,050. So 5% of that is $5,250. And our total is $1,102.50. In year 3, our total is $1,157.63. In year 4, it's $1,215.51. And in 30 years, using a compound interest calculator, it shows to be $4,321.94. So because we're reinvesting the interest we made, our entire pot is continuously getting bigger, so the amount of interest we're getting increases every year. Now let's assume you spent the interest on other things instead of reinvesting it. So every year, you would be still receiving $50 annually. It would never increase, right? Because the total pot's never increasing. So in 30 years, you'd be making an extra $1,500. So $50 times 30 years. Now your total would be $2,500, $1,500 plus your $1,000 that you originally invested. Now that is a lot less than the $4,321.94 that you would be making if you just kept the $50 in the pot every year. Now we're going to look at if you have $1,000 of credit card debt. The compounding works the same, but the interest rate is much higher. So if you have $1,000 of credit card debt, in 5 years, you're going to owe $1,786.87. Now, in theory, if you didn't pay off any of that money after 30 years, you would owe $32,550.14. Here's something else to consider: how often it compounds. In the above example, the interest was compounding annually. And often, especially with stocks, it actually compounds quarterly, so 4 times a year. So instead of 5% annually, you would be getting 1.25% quarterly. So 5% divided over 4 times throughout the year. This means that you gain interest more regularly. Again, if I invest $1,000 in Company A, they pay out an interest of 5% annually. And that means that Company A will pay me $12.50 for the first quarter. Our new total is $1,012.50. Now, during quarter 2, we're gaining our interest on our $1,012 $12.50. So in quarter 2, we get paid $12.66. Now after the first year, our total invested money would be $1,050.95. And after 30 years, our total invested money would be $4,440.21. In the previous scenario is $4,321.94. Again, we're going to add more to the scenario, and this is where the serious money can be made. We will be investing more money annually. So as you age, you're likely to continuously invest each year. So let's say that you invest $1,000 annually for the next 30 years. This is where you're going to have to use the compound interest calculator. So after I invest $1,000 at 5%, and I contribute $1,000 every year for the next 30 years, the grand total will be $74,104.53. Now $30,000 of that previous amount I said was money that you already owned because you were investing $1,000 over a 30-year span. So technically you're not gaining that, but your total gain is still $44,104.53. And now you might be able to see the benefits of this process. Now we're going to change the numbers a little bit just to see what the difference can make. So if instead of investing $1,000 every year, we're going to be investing $5,000 every year. After 30 years, you'd have $370,522.66. And then if you start at age 20 and you're able to scrape around $5,000 annually to invest, at age 50, you'd have that much money. But it's not uncommon for people to live until they're 80 years old. So let's say we allow this money to compound for 60 years instead of 30 years. Now your total would be $1,993,521.19. And that's some serious cash. This assumes many things, of course. For example, finding a return of 5% is not easy on a dividend or definitely not a savings account. If you choose stocks, the dividend prices can go up and down. The prices of shares are always fluctuating. The easy part is understanding the importance of compound interest. The difficult part is actually finding the right investment for you and finding it to work in practice. The main point of this video is to invest while you're young and while the time is there to allow your investments to grow. Let the time that you have on this earth work for you and do not spend that interest. Let it work for you. Thank you.